All right, off with number one, Thranguys Drabble. Perfect bones. I loved it. Very efficient, haunting, chilling. This is an exercise in just words being used efficiently, and it is indeed a chilling entry. The last sentence is wonderful, uh, just and then poignant. I'm looking forward to the rest of your Drabble, Thranguy. This is solid stuff. Okay, next up is Echo Cyan's scaffolding, and you nailed about this was throughout the story the persistent reminder of pain without it becoming redundant and without it becoming irritating. The pain resonates in the right kind of way. Your story was not painful to read in the wrong kind of way. Another solid entry for this prompt. I'm very encouraged by what I'm seeing so far. The story itself moves very efficiently, uses the word count very nicely, and the character is tough but vulnerable and open, and I really appreciated and enjoyed this one. So keep it up, guys. Boy, if all of these continue along at this rate, I will be a happy chili. And next up is Anti Vehiculars, Creaks, and Clanks, and another banger. Guys, what is going on? These are stories that I would expect this level of quality on any given week. Great story, great description. This time of also just the body and the composition and the way it moves, the pain that's felt. Guys, good shit so far. The characterizations were there; they were solid. Again, really efficient use of words. Um, and again, it's just good description of pain. The you feel the pain throughout the story. Uh, my knee is bothering the shit out of me. My knees, by the way. So that's where this prompt came from. And just the naggingness. You guys are totally nailing it. So a very solid entry. Yet again, I'm not finding much to complain about. So cool stuff, guys. All right, next up is Obama Akbar's The Bends, and I'll say this is the first story that didn't totally do it for me. Lot of proofing stuff. The story itself felt a tad rushed, if I may say so. There's some sloppy polishing stuff going on, but most importantly, I not getting the whole pain. The story was supposed to be centered around some kind of pain, joint pain, whatever it might be. It only really comes at the end, and I get one little description, and the story is more, the pain is a result of the story. So it felt like there was something else you want to say, and it wasn't about that. And that is ordinarily not something I care a ton about, but also, I don't really know. I didn't really care. Not a ton of characterization, just a little bit in the beginning, and then not a ton happens. So this one's in the middle of the pile. I didn't hate it. For the most part, it was competent, but could definitely have used an edit pass, especially for something this short. If you're going to submit something that's only 500 words, like go back through it. Take some time, polish that bad boy up. Okay, and next up is Matcha by Phantom Muscles. Phantom, I'm sure you're watching this. I'm gonna have a hard time just reading this story relatively objectively, and anyone else. Phantom and I are good buddies. Um, this story made me laugh a lot, primarily because I cannot envision a character like this ever coming out of your brain, and I'm really glad to see that it did. The the body horror and the cracking, it's just a ton of fun. The pervasiveness and how insidiously bad this person is through and through. If you're gonna do that, we got to have a reason. So often there are stories that are written about just a bad person, and it's like person we don't like, and then it's like, well, you wrote a bad story about a bad person, and I guess that's a good job, but you actually punish the bad person, and we want to see the body horror, and it's great. So I would say the story isn't really centered around the pain. The pain comes as a result of it, but that's still fine. Overall, the the horrific aspect of that last beat worked for me. So well done. And last for prompt one, the joint pain prompt is a friendly penguin's perpetual summer and a prettier story you could not find this week. Absolutely adored this one. Um, just the very concept is so nice and interesting and compelling, and the motivation for the character, so much of it's motivated by the pain and the urgency of it. It's beautiful, it's textual. I really enjoyed this one too. We do have some proofing stuff. There's like, just some carelessness. double words, whatever it might be. It's all minimal, not too distracting. Um, Overall, though, just the concept of like taking days, time from the seasons, and using and showing the consequences of that and the consequences on Nani Joya's body. Very very cool story. Motivation was clear. Enjoyed this one a ton. So prompt one is in the books, and guys, I'm impressed. So let's hope that the quality stays there. I'm looking forward to the next one. See you guys soon.